right, YouTube, it is Mr. Mean coming at you this Monday afternoon, 3:07 p.m., October the 7th. I just got off work. It is a glorious day. I'm going to go pick up my son from daycare here in a second, but I wanted to whip out a quick video because I got something in the post from Royal Mail. What could it be? Let's do a little unboxing and see what we got. I know what it is, but I don't want to ruin the fun for you guys. Remember, always cut away from you. Handy dandy buck knife. So we'll cut this open and see what's in here. Oh, I think it's going to be a goodie. All right, knife safety first. Always put your knife away when you're done. That's right, kids. Oh, we got starch peanuts. You can eat these, little known fact. They don't taste good, though. I'll tell you that right now. Let's see. Ooh, we've got a sprue. Ooh. A sprue, for those that don't know, is a plastic frame with a bunch of miniatures on it. So I'm not sure how well those are going to show up. But for those that don't know, I am an enthusiast of a little game called Gaslands. I did a video a while back on it between Gaslands and Frostgrave and a number of other small press tabletop miniatures games that are kind of like a gateway between RPGs and miniatures. Because let's face it, anybody who plays tabletop RPGs, you will eventually get sucked into the miniature world. There's a few who haven't, but for the most part, eventually you will. And especially nowadays with the plethora of pre-plastic painted miniatures, as well as the flat plastic miniatures, which go back in the archive. I've done a review of those as well. And there's a new one. Those flat plastic miniatures are done by Arknight. They are awesome. Still waiting for Arknight to send me a sample or something. It would be really nice. I did a cool video for you. Just kidding. But I also am backing a Kickstarter right now. I don't have all the information. Contact me if you want it. I'll get it for you. But they're doing acrylic, pretty much flat plastic miniatures. They're a little more durable. They're painted front and back just like Arknight's, but they're a little bit more thicker. And to be honest, the quality is just a lot better. But I'm getting in on the Kickstarter, so the price is pretty solid. The flat plastic miniatures, I think, are really good bang for their buck. But here we go. Here is the Gaslands Refueled. Bear with me one second. This is the original Gaslands book, and like I said, I did a video of it. Go in the archive, check it out. You can see it's pamphlet size. It was really cheap. It was $19. I think I paid like $15 on Amazon for it and got a bunch of tokens and measuring bits for it. It's a very cool game. It uses, of all things, Hot Wheels cars. So that's the miniature aspect of it. But you can, if you're a dad or you're a kid of the 80s and maybe even the 90s, you have these laying around somewhere. Check your attic. Ask your parents if they have your toys from when you were a kid. 9 out of 10 times it's up in the attic or down in the basement, and they will. And you'll find a bunch of these. And these things you can get them at the dollar store. They're so cheap. So if you want to try miniatures games and you've never had an opportunity to get into it, there is no better time than now. And I'm sure if you check on eBay, you'll find a couple used copies of this floating around for probably $10 or less. And I'm not even sure if you can still buy this one. But that's the old version. This is the new version. Hardback. $30. I'm sure you can go on Amazon and find it cheaper. It's been out for about 2 weeks now. Unfortunately, I backed the Nick starter, which is what the not Osprey. It's the company that does Frostgrave. Well, it's Osprey Games, yeah. Yeah. They send out a newsletter and they do what they call a Nick starter, because I think the guy's name is Nick. And so they're over in England. So this came from England, jolly old England. And this is some rules revisions, and then they've put out 3 PDF supplements that were free, and you could download them from the Gaslands I'll put a link in the notes. I don't remember the website, but you can download everything. So you don't necessarily need to buy this, although my understanding is there are some rules updates in here and some clarifications and all that stuff. So basically the blurb on the back is, with the ravaged Earth under the control of the elite on Mars, contestants are forced to compete in front of baying crowds in Gaslands, TV's premier death race. Shoot, ram, skid, and loot your way through the ruins of civilization with Gaslands Refueled, the tabletop miniatures war game of post-apocalyptic vehicular mayhem. Now, if you're a grognard like I am, you grew up with Car Wars, and Games Workshop even had one years ago that used slightly larger scale plastic miniatures. They weren't the greatest quality, but they did look pretty cool, and they were pretty versatile. But in the years to come, people have taken... Car Wars was another one. It used figure flats, and even back in the day, we would take Hot Wheel cars and put our 40K bits on them and use the Car Wars rules in order to play. And there was another game called Overdrive that was put out... I forgot. I did a review. I think I referenced it in my Gaslands video as well, and I had that for a short time. And they did resin hardcast miniatures, and those were really cool. But never took off. It was by Target HB or Target AB Games. Sorry guys, I got a little sore throat going, so I'm getting over a cold. So this is everything you need to play, minus obviously the car miniatures and the special dice. It does use some proprietary dice. You can find them online. They're pretty dirt cheap. They're not terribly expensive. You can get some acrylic like measuring sticks, for lack of a better word, but they're maneuver sticks, and they're made out of acrylic or wood. I think in the back of the book, I'll bet you, because they did it in the paperback. Yeah, all the tokens are back here that you need, and there's your measuring sticks and stuff that tell you the different type of turns and everything you can do, and then crowd favor and all that kind of stuff, and hazard counters. So every time you do maneuvers and stuff, you generate hazards, and when you get X amount of hazards, your car explodes, and then you roll to see if it flips over, it explodes, or whatever. And and so the whole point of the game is, like I said in my first review, is it's you're battling to get off of Earth. Earth is a wasteland, and everybody wants to go to Mars, but only the rich people are on Mars. So supposedly, and you have to read the fluff to find out more about it, you're battling to get one of those prized seats on a shuttle to Mars and become, live the high life, so to speak. But it's a really cool game. It's not hard to get into. It does involve a little bit of... it's not even really measurement, because there's pre-done templates, like I said, maneuver sticks, and you use those. Those are your measurement, and so you do this. And they have a kind of a cool rule that when you touch, there's a couple variants. The rule in the game is, or the steadfast rule was, when you touched a template, you had to use it. Guerrilla Miniature Games, Ash Barker, and those guys, as well as myself, subscribe to the theory that once you pick it up, you're stuck with it. So you can touch them, you can move them around and look at the one you want. There's no pre-measuring in the game. You can't pick up a template and put it there and go, oh no, I don't want to do that. So you kind of have to eyeball everything. But if you've been playing miniature games for a while, that's pretty easy. But back to my point of, if you're a miniatures gamer or if you're a tabletop role player and you've never gotten into miniatures games and you're curious, or you want to, I think this is a really great segue, because who doesn't love Hot Wheel cars? Who doesn't love, vehicular mayhem? So do yourself a favor, pick this up. It's a buy in Mr. Mean's book. I'm glad I got the revised copy. As a matter of fact, if any of you guys are interested and you want to send me a PayPal or a donation through Zelly to cover the postage, I'll send this to you. Just send me your address or where you want it posted, and send me enough to cover it. It's probably 1 pound or half a pound in weight, and I'll send it to you if you want it. You just got to cover the postage. I'm not going to pay for your postage, you lazy bastards. I love all you guys. But yeah, so if somebody wants this one, I'm more than willing to send it to you, because I don't really have a need for two, and this is the revised one, and I think it'll be good. So let me know if anybody's interested in this. First come, first serve. I only have one copy, but I'll put it. You send me the postage required, and I'll send it to you. Obviously, I need your address, but I won't post your address because that would be a douche move, and I'm not a douche. I'm a nice guy, aka Mr. Mean. But yeah, so totally recommend it. Totally worth it. It's a fun game. Oh, look, there's my original Gaslands receipt. Yeah, I paid £52 and 50 pence for the Gasland Everything bundle. Includes this rule book is signed. I forgot to mention that. So yeah, there's Matt's signature right there. So maybe one day Mitch, I'm sorry, Mike Hutchinson. Blah, blah, blah. I can talk really. So yeah, signed. If you want it, hey, like I said, tossing it out there. And then you would just have to go. You could. There's templates in the back you could photocopy and cut out and paste on heavy card, and that would work for you. But yeah, cool game, great transitioner from tabletop miniature games to role playing, because your car, you can advance your cars. There's a narrative gameplay. There's a campaign mode. And of course, whoever wins is free. They get off the hellish planet and they get to go to Mars. But I think it's a great gateway game for tabletop RPGers to get into a narrative story that uses miniatures. So if you've never played with miniatures of any kind, this is a great, for lack of a better term, gateway drug. This is a fun game. I'm going to pour over it this week. I've got a ton of reading to do. I've got a lot of reviews coming. So as always, like and subscribe. Let your friends know. Let's grow the Meanie Army. We're up to 561 subscribers. That's all to you guys, so thank you so much. I'm on ZellyPay. If you want to shoot me a donation, know that it all goes back into the channel and helps support, keep these videos coming. Other than that, I'm on PayPal Pay Me. You go to my YouTube channel, there's a link to my Discord. Feel free to join and chat with games. Mr. Sam is a new meanie, and we've been talking a little bit, so big shout out to Sam. It was a pleasure chatting with you, sir, and look forward to more great conversations with the Meanie Army. You guys rock. You are awesome. Thanks for all the support and love, and let's keep the channel growing. Peace and hair grease, and remember, Mr. Mean says to be nice.